Sex, porn, love addiction is all about self-soothing to manage your emotions. It got set up back in the childhood development years. It's just not about sex. It's not about porn. It's all about the repeated use has set up the physiology to crave those dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, self-manufactured drugs in the body. It's impacting women, men, children aged 10 to 75 across all the age ranges, the sexes, the cultures, the professions. It increased exponentially during COVID lockdown and impacting so many lives. The Kairos Center has created the first online comprehensive sex, porn, love addiction. It's a video-on-demand recovery program which you can access from anywhere in the world and begin to see identifiable changes just within 6 weeks of beginning this weekly program. Kairos means your appointed time. Isn't it your time to reclaim your life? Bring color back to life without shame. Click the link below and begin your journey. You owe it to yourself and to others. Just before I come on to the recovery plan, let me remind you of something to do with porn blockers. Porn blockers are programs that I'm going to want you to put in place on your various gadgets. The gadgets that belong to you and the gadgets that you have access to, but of course there might be a problem in being able to put a blocker on them, particularly if they belong to somebody else. Porn blockers are not really blockers as such. The way I view a porn blocker is, at best, it is a delay. It buys you time. And if it can buy you time and get you through another day, then that's another day of sobriety achieved. So what are the porn blockers? Well, an example of a porn blocker is Covenant Eyes. Have a look at, clearly it's the internet. Some of you may not have easy recourse to the internet and you may have to do it with a partner. But Covenant Eyes is one. Net Nanny is another one. Also, XXX Church. That's an interesting contradiction, isn't it? 3 X's and the word church. And also another one called X Watch. There's a free one on the internet called K9. But I always say, well, you get what you pay for. And I guess it might work for some. It certainly doesn't involve a monthly subscription. And I realize when finances are limited, that just might be what some people have to use. It may have restrictions in not being able to be used on a mobile phone. You want the porn blockers to be put in place immediately, certainly before you go on to the next of the program sessions. You'd want that put in place. Alongside the porn blocker, you will need to identify somebody called an accountability partner. An accountability partner is somebody to whom the emails can be sent on a monthly basis often, but you'll have to read and investigate from the website which of the different programs, what they do, what they will send. But a number of the programs will send an email to an identified person whose email you will have provided, an accountability partner, and they will see the type of browsing searches that you have been doing. You've got to give them permission to talk into your situation, into your life, and you are accountable to them to answer any questions that they may have about the searches that is showing up, inappropriate searches. The accountability partner has got to have a level of deterrent. There's no point really finding somebody who's going to say tut tut, coming down the pub for a drink or something like that. You would want to have a deterrence in that you don't want to go to see that person or that person contact you too often. You want them to act as a deterrent, and that's the reason that they are going to be there as the accountability partner. Okay, let's move on to that couple recovery plan. I've got the plan in front of me. I'm going to take you through each of the clauses to that recovery plan. Remember, it's a couple recovery plan, and what that means is there is a counterpart version for the female partner, and I would always love the opportunity to take the female partner through the version that is there for them, the counterpart of their aspect of the recovery plan. It is something that is explaining to them what their role is. In fact, when I talk about what their role is, what I'm actually saying is much more about what their role is not. In other words, it's helping them to perhaps change patterns of trying to help you that may actually not work, may actually be hindering your recovery. I know, for example, giving the Wi-Fi pass to a female partner seems like a really good idea. That is something I always try and deter individuals from doing, even though it seems like a good idea. But I recognize a female partner may desire that, may feel that she has more control where she has the PIN and certain other passes, and I don't want to dismantle that. If that is something that she would like to have, then that's a practice the couple must agree upon. But essentially, for her to have the pass means she becomes the gatekeeper to access to the Wi-Fi in the home. It doesn't really work, because if you are determined to view images, you're going to find a way to do it, and it really isn't going to be restricted, particularly for very long, by the fact that your female partner has the pass. So I would hope that she would have contact with me so I can take her, if only for this one session, so I can take her through her version, her counterpart of this recovery plan. Of all the documents, this is one I do particularly want you to print off, because I want you to be able to sign your name to the document. It's not an agreement, it's not a contract with me, it's an agreement, it's a contract, it's a promise to yourself that you will use best endeavours to achieve the outcome set out in these various clauses. On a bad day, I want you to be able to pull out this agreement, this contract that you signed with yourself, and be able to remind yourself of what you promised on a good day that you would use your best endeavors to achieve.